All right, so I'm going to explain the 2-1A at-home practice problems as a review. This is basically, again, what we were going to do. So, um, 2-1A at-home practice problems. So it says, on the grid provided, plot the following ordered pairs and label. So we have the ordered pairs -5, 0, 0, 4, 2, -5. Now, I'm not going to plot these on this grid because I don't have the capabilities to draw on this, but what I will do is I'll go on to another grid, one that's going to look very similar to the grid provided on your test. So if we go to the point -5, 0, remember the first value is the x value. X-axis is always the horizontal axis. We're going to start right here at 0, 0 at the origin. Hopefully you can see my cursor there. -5, 0, so -5 on the x direction means we go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 0 in the y direction means that we go up and down 0 units. So the point, oops, I am going to go a little thicker on that one, excuse me. The point that we're looking for, -5, 0, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, 0 up and down, is that point right there. Okay, so that is the point -5, 0. Now again, on the test, you may either be asked to plot the actual point or to identify what point that is. So you'd have to look at that point and say, oh yeah, that's the point -5, 0. Okay, the other points, 0, 4, 0, 4, so 0 in the x direction, 4 in the y direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, puts me at that point right here. So that is the point 0, 4. I could label this if I had the actual stuff to do. I guess we can try to do that. Let me go a little bit smaller. So that is the point 0, 4. Hopefully we got the text. Let's take a little bit. Oops. Excuse me, I'm learning how to do a little bit of this stuff. So 0, 4 is that point. And then as we said earlier, that is the point -5, 0. Why is that not? All right, so let me adjust that. -5, 0. Okay. Actually, let me go down a little bit too from where that is, just so we can see it. There we go. All right, so 0, 4, -5, 0. And then that last point, as we said, is 2, -5. So we go to 2, -5. Once again, x value first, so go over 2. Positive 2 means we're going to the right on the x value. -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down means we are at this point right there. Okay, so 2, -5. And then if we wanted to label that, all we would have to do is, oops, once again, 2, -5. Okay, like I said, in terms of actual questions on the test, you may be asked to either plot the point, like plot it where it should go, or to identify, I'd give you these dots, and you have to say what point this is. Oh, this is 0, 4. Oh, this is 2, -5, etc., etc. Now, the next question says true or false, -5 is located in quadrant 4. Well, -5, -5 would be down here. If, let me do this in a different color so that we don't get this confused. So -5 is right there in red here. And that is not in quadrant 4. Because if you remember, as far as quadrants go, quadrant 1 is this first quadrant, and then quadrant 2, oops, is that second quadrant. It's here. The red point here, -5, is in quadrant, oh boy, is in quadrant 3. So the way the quadrants work is they go 1, 2, and then this is quadrant 3. I think I can just do this. And then obviously that leaves this last quadrant over here as quadrant 4. So -5 is not in quadrant 4. In fact, it is in quadrant 3. Okay. One thing to remember is that if I check out the points -5, 0 and 0, 4, remember those are not in any quadrant because those are on the x-axis and the y-axis. So -5 is in quadrant 3, but 0, 4 and -5, 0 are not in any quadrant. The last question there says write an ordered pair that's in quadrant 2. So all we have to do is come up with some ordered pair that's in quadrant 2 and realize that that forces me to have a negative x value and a positive y value. So if I wanted to, I could take, for instance, this point here. This point is the point -3, 4, and that would be in quadrant 2. Or, again, another one would be something like this, -7, 3. So as long as it has a negative x value and a positive y value, you're in quadrant 2. So that is it for 2-1A. That's the big 2-1A at-home practice problems. Next time we'll do 2-1B, and we'll go through our review like that.